Hey everyone. I was looking through my old YouTube videos and found this old stream that I had done internally for our team working on our ODST sequel, Banished, and ODST story. I have another stream on my channel which talks about the project in more detail. We eventually canceled the project, fearing legal repercussions from Disney and 343. The reason we were concerned about Disney was because we were using Stubbs the Zombie, which is a game they own that was made in the Halo engine, as a base for this entire campaign. However, this video gives you a unique insight into one of the levels we had planned. If you like this, be sure to check out the other video that I have on my channel. This video is just an impromptu stream for our team, so please pardon any voice quality or stuttering during the video. With that said, enjoy.
That I have for one of the missions. I know a lot of you guys have questions about Oddball and exactly how these missions can play out, so I'm just gonna narrate as I kind of run through my ideas. So this mission will kind of be like our own version of Pillar of Autumn and Maw. And Stubbs takes place in a jail. Here it's going to be an Oni detention facility that the rebels have taken. It's got these cool real-time reflections here too. We'll probably want to replace this with some sort of cool holographic thing. So you'll come through and you'll see all the dead bodies and stuff. Until you get out in here, maybe where you'll find some sleeping grunts and a brute. By this time, the Banished will control this facility. So it'll kind of be your first little thing. By the way, I also have the Spartan Strike soundtrack in the background, just to kind of give you some idea of how this thing could sound. So you'll come here, you have more enemies patrolling. Eventually you'll get caught. You got the bathrooms where you can find bodies where people hid, dead, weapons, ammo. So eventually you'll have a firefight break out in these hallways. You can dive into these little side rooms for cover, so it's just not that. Possibly when you come in here, we can bait it, so certain enemies will chase you into the bathrooms. And you could hide in the stalls and then pop out. And now here's where it gets cool, because in Pillar of Autumn there was actually a lot of different doors and stuff. They had some sort of power control system, it looked like, where different doors would open. But here we can actually use it. So the objective is behind these doors, but you're going to have to fight through several areas. You can also come through here and have an alternate path. But as you fight through these doors, you have these little tables and stuff you can use for cover. It'll be tight, but keep in mind you're an ODST, so even a grunt will be more of a threat than it was in SPV3. Eventually you have to come in here in the locker rooms. You have more guys on patrol. And this place will be cool because you can duck in and out behind the lockers to fight people, stuff like that. You also have these cool reflections, so as you're sneaking around, you'll be afraid that they can see you, which should be neat. And then when you get in here, you'll have brutes on patrol, and we'll have civilians that have been held captive in the middle of the room. So you'll be able to kind of look, attack, assassinate, firefight will break out. Civilians will be running around or cowering, and you'll be shooting at the guys over their heads, possibly killing them. Eventually, this door will open. Right now, I just have it set to open automatically, where you come in here. You'll have enemies come out of the elevator over here, which we're going to have to kind of redo. The elevator will come out. You fight. Maybe they'll chase you back into this room, so you can take up a new position in here. I think this will be all very much close quarters. So the elevator will bring you out over here. I'm guessing this door will just become the entrance to the elevator. And you'll have your firefights here. You can come through this room and fight, or go down that hallway. Maybe we'll have more enemies in here, but harder enemies over here, and the two can transfer. Like if you fight the brute, a heavy brute over here, rather than go inside, the brute will eventually chase you in here once the majority of the grunts are dead. Or the brute would be holding position over here so you can flank him. Then you got this long hallway, which will be kind of cool. Sort of repetitive. But you'll have a lot of enemies coming. You'll be forcing right through. These doors will all be locked. So you'll just have like an onslaught of grunts, jackals, and stuff trying to lock you down in this hallway. Eventually you get here, again, more close quarter fights, very Pillar of Autumn-esque. It should be even more unique than that, because Pillar of Autumn used a lot more repeat hallways, even though a lot of this is the same pillars and furniture everywhere. It should be a little bit more dynamic than Pillar of Autumn was. So eventually get over here, we have more bathrooms and stuff with one of these little loopy loops. Again, real-time reflections of them, which should be interesting for the player. Big fight in here where you could fight like a brute pack and possibly maybe a chieftain. Get over here to the control desk, unlock the door, and this is how you get access to the Oni jail cells. So you just have like a bunch of dead bodies here, weapons locker in here. You'll have them come in, you'll see all these different prisoners shouting things to you. You can either let them go and arm them, but these areas will later be used for cover on the way out. Get over here to this area, you'll find the Oni captive that the rebels have been torturing. This is kind of cool over here. You can see they were doing all sorts of experiments. We'll have to up-res this. Should be pretty easy, just, you know, silvery gray texture and then some actual photoshopped images of knives and stuff. Throw it on there, maybe have one of them placed elsewhere. You know, they got the IV bags, all sorts of stuff. Come over here, release the prisoner. Around that time, you'll hear an explosion. You'll come out, and this will be your introduction to the elites. So you'll have your first fight with the elites here, and the prisoners can either be let out to use as distractions, or you can let them out earlier, and they'll take up arms. And then you'll hear another rumble, and then all the lights will black out, just like they did on Maw. So on your escape from here, it'll be like Maw. And you'll be fighting, you know, jackals, skirmishers, and elites, anything that's glowy. And this will be kind of be your like first introduction to the elites, and you'll have your squad mate here as well. I'm guessing all the prisoners will be killed, you know, in that fight with the elite. So here, well, I have these gates here, but eventually we can have like brute fires or collapsed parts of the ceiling. So now you'll have to be going through different rooms, which are even wider, and you'll have your squad mate, and you'll be able to fight and move around more. These desks are kind of short. Like, I don't even know why they are this short. This wouldn't even make sense if somebody sat in them right now in this chair, based on the stub scaling. But we'll, you know, be replacing all this scenery, so you'll be able to have cover. Come out here, another fire. You have to backtrack a bit. Keep in mind, lights will all be out. Another big room. Enemies will come in. More fights. Again, I don't really know what they were thinking with these. Because that chair just would barely squeeze in. Another firefight in here. And here you have this room that you were at before where you came in. Only this door will work, the other doors can be broken. Fight your way through, into the elevator. Back to over here. And now when you come out over here, it'll be neat because remember I said the hallway loops around? Over here, different doors will open and different enemies can come running in, and you have to choose which door you want to go in to flank or get different enemies, because there'll be enemies surrounding this room. So when you come through here, there'll be the most direct route. Fight down this hallway. You know, take out, maybe here you'll just mainly have, you know, grunts and stuff. And the two characters will talk about the next mission and kind of give you your little briefing on that. You'll make your way through. Back over here to the to where you came down through the elevator shaft, and then you'll load up on the farm.